One of the hardest things in the world is to introduce someone to the real world they've never seen, because they've never lived in it. They've lived in a fictional construct inside their own head. They've been swimming in fictional delusions and belief systems and cultural narratives that simply aren't true, and yet they think that's reality.
It's Cyber Monday, a day on the retail calendar that can be enjoyed from a desk or the couch.
Enjoyed from a desk or a couch.
Enjoyed from a desk or maybe the couch.
Enjoyed from a desk or the couch.
Enjoyed from a desk or the couch.
Enjoyed from the desk or even the couch.
Enjoyed from a desk or the couch.
From a desk or
Waking people up is my most important mission, and what that means is teaching people to think for themselves and to quite literally question everything that they are told, question every assumption, question every narrative, question every news report, question every statistic, every official government report, even question their own senses. What you believe is, in many cases, not your own. It wasn't derived from inside your own mind. We as human beings are hardwired to take shortcuts in our decision making, and those shortcuts include things like going with the crowd, following the herd. The social pressures that are brought to bear to manipulate your thinking and change your beliefs are so powerful that almost no one is immune to them. And what's especially fascinating about this is that even people who are with the herd think that they are not. So most people tell themselves that they are individual thinkers, that they have rational thought and good cognition, but in reality, they've taken a shortcut to make a decision that goes along with the herd, along with the crowd, and then they backward justify that decision by telling themselves that they arrived at that decision through conscious cognition and rational thought and good decision making, when they didn't. They just took a shortcut. And so when you have a society that is large numbers of people who vastly overestimate their decision-making abilities, you end up with a society full of weakness and failure and corruption and complacency, because you don't really have any survivors anymore. You don't really have people who can make good decisions. You don't have adaptability, flexibility. You don't have the neuroplasticity of cognition that is necessary for really the evolution of human understanding and cultural wisdom. All of these things get lost rather quickly when you have a complacent, easy society, a convenient society. You end up, as Clint Eastwood said, with the pussy generation of people who really can't do anything. And by the way, it's from there, it's a very short step to the next stage of society, which is collapse. And then from collapse, you have extreme hardship. And from extreme hardship, you give rise to the next phase of that society, which is adaptation, determination, work ethic, survival, and all of these really positive skills that then create the next wave of abundance for the next couple of generations, until things get so good again that you have complacency again, which leads to another pussy generation of pathetic failures who end up dying out because they don't know any better. These are the cycles of civilization. And at one level, here we are in it. You and I, we're observers and participants in these cycles. And yet, if we can, in a sense, step back from it and watch it, it's quite comedic. It's the rise and fall of civilization in a predictable cycle. And watching history repeat itself over and over and over again while humans don't learn a damn thing from it is, it's simultaneously comedic and tragic. You might hope that sooner or later we would learn something and move forward, but history shows us that that's a rare thing. Very few people are able to keep in their minds the entire context of history, the lessons of history, and move forward with a real sense of humility, of honest self-assessment of your strengths and weaknesses and limitations, and fill in the gaps on your limitations and actually teach yourself or take on the tasks that you need to learn in order to be a part of the future of human civilization. It's a very rare individual who is willing to take those steps. And that's why we have revolutionaries throughout history, because every once in a while, certain individuals step forward who break the cycle of complacency and the cycle of self-destruction and the cycle of pathetic implosion, and help pull people out of that and move society forward in a positive, abundant, adaptable way. And that's what we should really hope to become, each and every one of us, is to contribute to helping human society avoid the mistakes that our ancestors made. Knowing that we don't have to repeat the mistakes of history that we've already made over and over again countless times. It is really breaking that cycle and, in effect, graduating human civilization to a state of global adulthood, where we are conscious adults, where we take responsibility for our actions and also take responsibility for the effects of all of our collective actions, so that we don't, for example, we don't steal from the group in order to just enrich ourselves at the expense of others. We must pursue innovation and abundance ourselves at the same time that we reach out and uplift others and teach them and share knowledge with them, so that they can also follow in those same footsteps of abundance and knowledge and wisdom for the future of humanity.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
When you really grasp this, you have a sense of overwhelming sadness for society, but also perhaps a gleaming little bit of hope that if you can wake up enough people and share the truth about all of this, all levels of the truth, all the way up to the top, that perhaps you can play some small role in helping humanity break these cycles and move forward in a true revolution for consciousness, wisdom, understanding, knowledge sharing, and breaking free from the enslavement and the bonds of bad government, criminal cartels, globalism, and all of these things that keep humanity down. We have a rare and limited opportunity to shape the future of our world in a way that supports human dignity, human rights, human liberties, and individual liberty. And if we miss out on this window, we will descend into a totalitarian globalist regime run by tyrants and despots and criminals and racketeers. And we are dangerously close to going over that cliff right now. That's why I'm willing to come out and say these things that need to be said. This is not economics 101. These are advanced concepts for advanced thinkers, people who are revolutionary thinkers, philosophers, historians, scientists, humanitarians, psychologists, people who understand human history and the potential for humanity's future, and who want to explore these ideas. That's who I'm trying to reach with these videos. And this is why I'm going to continue to share this information and discuss these topics. Regardless of my individual future, this conversation is crucial for all of us.